Being a foreigner's wife is a beautiful blessing, but sometimes it also means being the target of judgment, criticism, or even chismis. Chismis is very common here in the Philippines. People assume that I am a gold digger, and this is very common. Even outside in the Philippines, I'm pretty sure women suffered this criticism. Even if they're not really rich, in reality, they're going to say this, that you just married him because you are into his money. Well, we cannot deny most of the time we really look into money, because if we're not going to look into money, then I guess we would end up marrying someone who is very irresponsible. You are building a family together, so of course you're going to look out for someone that can provide the needs of the family, that can stand out as the head of the family. And I think that's natural. But there is a disadvantage with that. If your only goal is the money, then of course it's not going to work out. You cannot marry someone just because he has a lot of money, because attitude also is important. I am not really going to marry someone if he has a lot of money, but we cannot be able to understand each other. It's like if his attitude is so mean to me and cannot understand my emotional needs or my spiritual needs, then that money is very useless to me. Money is part of it, but it's not the first or main thing to consider when you're going to marry someone or when you're going to have a partner in life. I handle this type of criticism as, I just ignored it. I mean, people will say anything about us in this case because, of course, he is a foreigner and he is a lot older than me. They will keep saying, he's like a sugar daddy. No, my husband wasn't married before and I wasn't married before too. So you know what's my thought? Every time I heard this, I just always tell myself, if this is not part of God's plan for me, this is not going to happen. But it happened. So it was part of the God's plan for me to marry him. And who am I to refuse that? This was meant to happen according to God's plan for my life, and I'm not going to question that because my goal is just to accomplish my mission in this world and not to go against it. Number two, just because I am married to a foreigner, I am going to build a house for my parents already, or my husband will help building the house of my parents or make the weekly expenses of my parents. No, not really. My parents have a small farm. They have pigs or animals, and they're not depending us about their weekly expenses. Though, yes, we help them from time to time because, of course, our animal stays there and they are the ones who take good care of our animals. So, for me, it's only right that we give them a grocery, some small amount of money. It's because they are the ones who are taking good care of our animals there and we don't pay them. So if we are really going to count it every day, their efforts in taking good care and for using the space there at home, this is all about family values, family respect. And sometimes I would even ask rice to Papa. So in here we can buy rice, but not as fresh as Papa's harvest there in the province. So most of the time I ask them rice and that's all for free. They will say it to my parents, why are you still eating ginamosyo? Your daughter is already married to a foreigner. It's just all about the assumption of the people around us that even family members cannot control themselves because it's being normal to people to gossip or to criticize if there are new things around them. So yes, my father has a rice field, and whenever Papa is working in the rice field, some of the neighbors there will pass by and said, "Oh, why did you not pay someone to do that? Your son-in-law is a foreigner and you cannot afford." All these words from the people around you. You cannot really control it. So all you just need to do is stay still and give them good reasons. I also heard from people that they said, "Oh, my husband is not rich. That's why he doesn't build or support my parents at home. And I also heard that they said, "Oh, my husband is rich, this and that. Why he is not sending any money to my parents at home," which is very, very inappropriate. But we cannot really stop them from saying that. So it doesn't matter how many times you explain to them, they will keep saying it again and again. And after it's done, they will make up another story again and this and that. People also assume that as soon as I marry a foreigner, I will bloom myself with too much makeup, sexy dress, things like that, that I would look like a rich woman. If these people see you being so simple, they will say, "Oh, why? I wonder why she's like that. She married to a foreigner and she's so simple that she cannot even buy a good, nice dress." I always heard these women, they're also women like me, they will say, "Oh, I can imagine." It's like, I can imagine how she managed. We have our own opinions and ideas, but if it is very inappropriate, at least try to learn to control yourself, not to spit it out, because it's very disrespectful. And also one time I was in the market, I bought a kilo of fish, and one woman asked me directly, "How did you manage him?" It's like she meant, "How did you manage him on bed? He's so big, he's so tall." But I was able to calm myself. It was really a big disrespect to me as a wife. And she was also a wife and even a mother. These people are mostly women. And how can they say that to their fellow women? What would you feel if this is going to happen to one of your daughter? Because you never know what's the life path of your daughter. If they were my close friends, I would be fine, because close friends, of course, are very open with each other. But they were just strangers that doesn't even know me. I mean, as a woman, I could tell what they were thinking from the way they look. A lot of foreigners here already, but why is it their looks are still like that? And then you will hear everyone says, "I want a farm, I want to date on a farm," and then as soon as they saw an a farm in the Filipina, they're going to criticize. They're going to chismis. They're going to say something that is very disrespectful, that is very personal, that you're not in your place to say it. So now I'm going to give you some tips to protect yourself and self-worth. Number one is know who you are. When you are very confident about your intentions, about your love story, then you will never be shaken. If it happens that you feel like you wanted to be reassured again and again, the best person that you can go to is your husband, your family, and your close friends. Close friends that will not betray. Set boundaries even with your family and friends. Just do not engage with gossip or criticizing words. In return, do more good to them. So if it's in social media, you can mute them, you can unfollow, and in real time, avoid these kind of people. They're not going to bring good things in your day. Use prayer most of the time if you feel like that, and always open up to your husband about it. Talk it out, because it's very important to talk it out. Use your curiosity. Why they said that? Come up with positive approach. They're just jealous. They're just envious. Focus on your marriage and not the crowd. So focus. I mean, as what I've told you, I keep telling myself, if this marriage wasn't meant to happen, God wouldn't have let it happen. But He did. So who am I to refuse it? You know, I am just fulfilling my mission. I have a mission to fulfill to my husband, and he has a mission also to fulfill for me. this and that. There's so many important things to focus on your marriage rather than these people that are just saying very inappropriate things that are very disrespectful. It's a waste of our energy. We are building our marriage privately. Though we shared some glimpse, but it doesn't mean that what you've watched or what you've seen in our social media or from us personally is like that. No, no one really knows. It's just assumption. After all, we build our marriage more privately. If it turns out that this chismis or criticizing is really, really too much between you and your husband, you have to talk it out with each other. Talk about the good things, don't let it affect your marriage. It's best to find a supportive community. So, right now, if you are struggling with criticism or chismis, you can always comment in the comment section, or you can always email us, or you can go to Facebook and message me, and I will always listen to your story. Be very careful when you share something also. One comment can hurt, but one encouraging words can also help you up. Encouraging messages can heal. If you have friends that you're sure that they're really your true friends, you can always talk to them, or your family, another community like church or your parents. Just like me here in YouTube, sometimes I would read very good comments from you, and it helps me really well on how to cope up with this chismis or criticism. So it's best to encourage other women to uplift, to grow higher, instead of downgrading them. Let peace be louder than gossip. To all Filipinas out there, don't forget to keep going. These people who keeps criticizing us, they don't know what they're doing until it will happen to them. Remember these best ways to fight back with this criticism and chismis is to ignore, do more good to them, even if you really wanted to tear them. No, just control yourself, do more good in return, and prayer. Also, number 4 is think about the good things. Think about why did God made it happen? Because you will realize later on, you have no right to go against the plan of God for your life. So always think positive about it. And I'm pretty sure you will be able to come up stronger if you start to see that from yourself. You have no power to go against the will of God. If it's God's will that you're married to a foreigner, then these people who are gossiping around us, they are totally wrong, and we are on our right track to continue our mission. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to talk about how you handle criticisms or how to handle because you have no one to talk, you can always write in the comment section, or you can always email us so that we can also help you. Okay, gifters, have a good day and take care. Bye!